Hello and welcome to episode 3 of Pisslo. I'm here with Lapixie, Creamie, Limit Testing, Galaxybear, and Shiny. How you guys doing?
Doing
Yeah, I'm
okay,
doing
Jep.
well, friend.
Alright,
Yeah, doing
alright.
pretty good.
Doing
Well,
Yeah,
okay.
it's tough, but we'll get there. Shiny?
Yeah, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking.
well, we missed an episode due to the Easter holidays. Speaking
Yep.
of which, I hope everyone had a happy and safe Easter. Um,
I was on my knees all Easter, so
Poggers.
I was on my ass all this stuff. Pog.
Alright, so for the finals on Iron to Plat that week, we had Sonic Boom and MCOM J Dragons. What are your thoughts on the MVP for that week?
Oh, so hard, right?
Hmm.
Is it though?
I want to give it to Manu.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, is it though?
Like, I mean, but also you got Tyrannosaurus Rex with comparable damage. You know,
I mean, yeah.
and then you've
but
also
the thing
got to
is-
have a look at Lubu.
the thing
who's
is
got,
though, like-
16 KP.
Tyrannosaurus Rex
Three
like their
outs.
most consistently like best player. Like, if I had to give like an MVP, like a most valuable in this match, I'd kind of have to give it to Manu.
But
Not
why?
not to say that the other players didn't do well, but like,
No, I don't, and I'm hope that it doesn't appear that I'm saying that either. But why do you think that though?
dude, what the fuck off? What do you mean?
I mean,
9.5 KDA, 7.12 CS per minute. Dude went ape shit.
yeah.
that's very,
Alright.
very true.
Okay.
Look,
Okay.
Yeah.
look,
That's just
for,
true.
for me, purely
Tyrannosaurus
based on
Rex was playing against
stats,
Camille without fucking flash. Like, I mean, if that motherfucker doesn't hit, then like, it's not Iron's plat, right?
Well, nah. I think he takes TP Ignite to just hard win the lane. I think he probably just got like shit
Yeah.
ranks.
That's what I mean.
Because the 1v1 he wins that. That's like the Ignite guarantees it. So I'd say it's more likely that Udio kind of just ran top. Because you got like weak side bot lane, right? Like it's fucking Kaiser
Well-
Alistar. So
Kaiser Alistair is strong, but if you play it right on the Thresh Ezreal, like you can just like pretty much force the Ali or the Kaiser like just out of lane. Because Ali will either be trying to sit in a bush to Hex Flash or like set up something. And if you keep just, if you see where he is on an Ezreal, you keep throwing Qs at him, you get that Q poke going. Doesn't matter how many minions die near him, and to sustain it, like he gets poked out of the lane. Like, and you can't exactly get on the Ezreal or the Thresh. Like it's just a shit lane for Ali. Like he goes in
Yeah.
Thresh. If Thresh is on point, he can flay it. Ezreal will just buffer it. Like at no point can the Kai'Sa Ali really do anything in that lane if the Ezreal Thresh are on their game that game.
Yeah.
Like if they're not, blind drunk and or mentally handicapped.
True. True.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
True. Yeah. I think Manu's like probably one of his best champs would be Ezreal. So. And I think Triggered's probably one of his best champs is also probably Thresh. So.
Well, I
guess
think Triggered's got like 600k or something on Thresh. Like
he's been playing Thresh for a very long time. Yeah. So I'd say you're right. I'd say they probably would just be able to negate anything. But that would, yeah. I think that is probably why they're weak side though. It's just because they have such defensive scaling sort of pick.
that's it. Like especially. Oh, actually, this is interesting. He didn't actually pick up a mythic either.
Yeah, that was I think Sven did that in LCS. He didn't grab a mythic. This is like basically what he built. I don't think he had the Tiamat though. I think he had something else. I think he was
Like,
going into.
I can understand skipping the mythic, like especially if they've got like an Ali, Skarner, like things like that.
Hmm.
that you can, hit him with the shoulders, get the slows going. But at the same point, I'm also surprised that knowing that you've got a Skarner and like a Camille and all that, why the Alistar didn't pick up a Australia's.
I think the
Like-
well, yeah,
He
agreed.
wants to get his team in there.
Mm.
Like Skarner wants to be, zipping in, ulting someone, and then getting the fuck out with them.
Yeah, but I think we've determined though Manu MVP. I think that was
Look,
the question.
Manu, like stat wise, in terms of KD and CS per minute, yes. But look, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking they got two barons, 4 dragons. Like in my eyes, like in terms of choke points, like I'm putting that all down to like the Victor GP. Like I'm feeling the Victor was more of the MVP that game. Raz, like he had more KP than no, sorry, same KP. I can't math. But just like the Victor, like denying choke points, and like there's nothing, especially when you're fighting around an objective, be it like a tower or a pit, like especially against a heavy melee based team. That Victor just drops W and they have to back off. Because unless they want to get stunned and just absolutely comboed, they've got to give the objectives. Like straight up Sonic Boom outdrafted.
We got one vote
Well,
for
let's take a
Raz,
vote
one
then.
vote
Let's
for
take a vote.
Manu.
Yeah, alright, we got two nominees. So how many for Raz?
Pixie,
Well, there's
who
at
do you
least
reckon, mate? Give me a name.
Mate, Snooker. No.
Oh, fuck off.
I was gonna say Snooker as well, honestly.
Look,
Man,
honestly. Nah, look, without looking at how the game played out, it's hard to say who actually played the best on the team and who enabled the team comp. But I'm just purely off stats. I'm gonna have to give it to Manu.
Okay, so
G-Bear, Shiny,
3.
do you guys have any names or?
Yeah, I give my MVP to Libu because
Okay.
you can clearly see that he targeted the Camille in the top lane without flash and just put her behind immediately.
Yeah, he does have a lot of KP as well.
Alright,
Like,
G-Bear.
Buddha.
Yep, I agree. Alright, yeah, we're giving.
I was gonna say, Pixie's kind of convinced me. I kind of want to give it to Snooker now. Like, having to lead into, like, T-Rex, like, that's so tilting. And he didn't end as hard as I thought he would, so, I mean, like, credit where
What do you
credit's
mean?
due,
Didn't
right?
end as hard as you thought
He
he would?
didn't
How
have
hard did you
flash.
think he was gonna?
Did they
How
ban his
hard did you think he
Vladimir?
was gonna end? He's got 7 days.
They
bro.
do
How
not
hard
ban
do you think
Vladimir.
he's gonna end?
Look,
Do you think he's gonna die like 20 times or something? Like what?
Or maybe?
look,
I mean, he kind
I
of
don't-
ended kind of hard, right?
I mean, you kind of just get out for free with E, but like,
That's why you do it.
yeah,
So he's just going in and then getting punished. So
I
it's
can't.
just-
Yeah,
it's
as I said, we can't look at how he got punished. Maybe he had vision. Maybe someone was hovering and they got mechanically outplayed. But like,
yeah.
I
So
guess
no,
it might-
seriously though, who's your nomination, Ben?
I mean, 19 out of 23 KP, fat gold, fat damage. I'm going to have to say Manu.
Oh, I thought you were saying Carly.
Yeah, I did.
Wait, Carly has
No.
19 KP.
I mean, yeah, but his gold is like less than, or nah, a little
Oh.
more than half.
He's a sport. What? Oh, yeah, okay, alright. Manu
Yeah,
gets.
right. Well, where's his fucking gold? Where's his damage?
Manu gets
That's all that
MVP.
matters.
From
Sports get carried.
from memory, he did play well, and congrats to MCOM being a somewhat new team, making it to finals. We're about Iron to
He has
Gold
to
for
say
that
that he's a new
week.
roster.
We had in Iron to Gold, it was Team Blackhawk versus Goget. Who needs wards? Yeah, who needs wards?
yeah, go
Well-
get yeah.
How did they get into finals? What the fuck?
I didn't know we had product placement, Pixie.
Alright, I didn't even realize these guys played, so it's kind of
What?
hilarious.
Um,
The other bracket would have been.
They beat Ches in the bracket, so
They did?
yeah, I mean,
Wow.
Well, Ches, to be fair, has gone through like some sort of roster changes, but yeah,
Yeah.
don't
would-
expect Ches to be losing against like this roster again, really.
Yeah, none of these guys are. Okay, well, I'm not gonna keep talking.
Well,
You guys,
Blackhawk won the finals, nevertheless, so you don't have to fucking give who needs Vision an MVP, but who do you think gets MVP on Blackhawks
Oh.
for the game?
oh, we played
Is
them
this
yesterday as well.
is this for
Yeah.
13?
Yeah, for 13. Last
Yeah,
week's.
Zalakis.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I was
Yeah,
so happy
like,
someone else said
that
Dalek.
man,
Dude's
that
crazy.
man, dude, he exerts so much pressure around the map that it doesn't
Yeah.
matter how retarded the rest of his team is.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
No,
true.
honestly, he's absolutely right. Yeah, completely agree.
That's actually what I was gonna fucking say as well.
Dude, like,
Yeah.
I look, when we
Yeah.
played against them, man punished our Orphans, right? Orphans was playing Mord into Renekton, right?
Hmm.
Man sat top for like the first 6 levels, and then when Renekton was ahead, he literally just never had to worry about that lane. And he just sat mid bot. Like he did his job up top. He put the pressure there that was needed.
Yeah, he tried.
And,
Yeah.
like he got his early pressure where it was needed to snowball his early game bruises. And
Yep.
then like when they had that lead, they put it again at the objectives. They were denying vision. Like, man never lost a smite. Like, man's just fucking ridiculous. Like, man solo carries that team every game.
Yeah.
Like,
I agree. Like he's got 22 KP out of 29. It's like fucking 13k gold as a jungler, most on his team.
I mean, even the game we played against him, he did
Yeah,
alright.
dude. Yeah, he was scary.
I completely disagree with that, but I will say that
this
in
game onwards,
last week's
This game
finals he did
onwards.
play well,
Oh yeah.
and
Yeah.
I would agree to give him MVP for last week. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'll wait until we go into this week's stuff before I say anything else.
One of the biggest things about the Blackhawk team is they draft Seraphine Set a lot.
True.
Now I don't know if you guys have seen their win rates on these champions. Both their bot laners have over 80% win rate, with about 20 games played each on both of these champions. Right? It is crazy good.
I honestly had never seen, like, the last time I saw them, they were playing Vayne Tarek. And when they were doing that, like, Zalakis wasn't a massive influence towards in the Vayne Tarek lane. But you couldn't build, like, a full assassin into them because they had the Tarek. But then they were like, yeah, sweet, we've got the Vayne Tarek, but we'll just dump 3 tanks down as well.
Yeah, I
So-
like how they don't necessarily like one trick shit, but they keep their comps very similar from game to game. Like they
Yeah.
really do like to run the Seraphine set whenever the combo's up, and I think they run like Oriana and Anivia mid a fair bit as well, and then the jungle's like early game shit.
No, if Hack It In will if Zillion's left open and
hate Zillion
they
playing like that.
yeah, dude, like if they have it, they will, like, he will play it. It is his go-to.
Yeah.
So
I agree. So,
Like-
everyone for Zelicus, or are we still sort of discussing?
I mean, I think everyone was on the same page with that one. No one else.
I agree, Zelicus. Yeah.
I think MVP goes to who needs wards for not banning, Seraphine.
All set.
How is that allowed?
I think we didn't ban
Well,
set. We
the
just
other
banned the
the other
Seraphine.
thing that I find when people play
Yeah.
against like Seraphine set and everything like that, everyone forgets that Serpent Fang exists. Like, that
Yeah.
item is so fucking busted.
Actually, yeah, especially against that comp
Yeah.
that they ran. It's what Seraphine set Shen, all with like fatty shields.
Yeah, Java can
Even
get it.
um,
Yasuo can get
Zin
it.
with the Eclipse. Like Eclipse has a shield on it, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
Yeah, it
Eclipse,
does.
yeah.
It does, yeah.
Like, there's just Serpent's Face. It's so cheap and so powerful for what it
Yeah.
does.
Yeah, it's really
so
good.
valuable in
Like-
this game. Yeah.
Gives
Yeah,
you the
it-
same AD and lethality as Ghostblade for like 600 less gold.
Yeah, and not only that, but it gives on melees, it's a 50% heal cut to shields.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty insane.
Like, if it's 1,000 shield, and if you see anyone, they go, yeah, I'm going to be building shield bow, or I'm going to be running Moonstone on Seraphine with a tank set. Mate, just pick that up. Like,
Slam it.
set goes from having an 800 shield at level 3 because he's put 2 points in W to having 200. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
shit's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's
But
crazy.
no one knows it exists for some reason, and then when it gets used, everyone's like, "What the hell? Why am
Yeah.
I losing this?"
I mean, they probably just thought that they didn't have a champ that could build it, but theoretically, both Yasuo and Jarvan can get it.
Yeah. Like, Yasuo benefits greatly. Like, he benefits more from crit, but he also benefits ridiculously well from a little bit of lethality.
Curious why they picked Yasuo top lane though. It's a bit fucking
They're
troll.
just waiting for his 0 and 10 power spike, mate.
Well, they
It's,
built a comp around the Yasuo, but
Yeah.
their comp's just sort of cheese. I don't know what
Yasuo's
they were going for really.
top lane though. Like what? Yeah, okay.
That's
And he's got ignite, so I don't.
Look, there's very specific lanes that you can play Yasuo into top lane,
Yeah, not. I mean,
and
I don't know. Shen's kind of whatever, but I just don't think
Shen-
you pick Yasuo top lane ever because it's just so easy to abuse. It's like any jungler.
well, I mean, he does better in the short lane anyway because
Exactly.
he can get out with the 2 dashes.
Yeah. And like he can roam. So if you want to build a comp around Yasuo, you put him mid, so he can just walk there.
Yeah,
If you play him top, then he needs TP, but he doesn't even have TP, so he's just stuck 1v1 against some guy who can beat him 1v1, so it doesn't matter.
yeah. It's like I build one item and you no longer have a passive anytime you go in.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised he didn't just buy Tabbies as well and just fucking shit on him, but I suppose SMURFS makes more sense that game though.
Alright, well, congrats to Team Blackhawk and Sonic Boom, as well as Zalakis and Manu for getting MVPs and winning last week's events.
Congrats.
What about this week's Underplat? This week we had TNS versus Weekend Warriors Academy in the finals. Did you guys watch that game?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I
I watched
I
that game.
didn't watch this game.
I caught like half of it.
Yeah, Weekend Warriors managed to, I think the game before, it was against Sonic Boom. I'm pretty sure it was pretty one-sided for Weekend Warriors. And then this
Yeah.
one was like sort of close, but yeah, I don't know.
It was bled a lot, and I mean a lot.
Wait, what?
I mean,
So the
well,
people who did watch it then, like, how'd it go? Because I didn't watch this game.
so TNS won like pretty sort of one-sided, I guess. Boo was like performing crazy for Weekend
Yeah, oh,
Warriors
yeah.
though.
Oh, he
It was
yeah.
just hard for them to do much with like they don't like have an AD threat, so the other team can just build MR and shit, and
Mm-hmm.
With
yeah,
the
that's
it's just very awkward.
Like, I always find if you don't put your AD threat down in bot, like you need to have it either mid or jungle.
Yeah, like when
It-
people run the Seraphine bot lane, it's usually like with like Tristana or Lucian mid. It's not usually with Silas.
Yeah, like you need to have a threat somewhere else, because if you don't, then like they just stack MR and then you become useless. Like, especially because doesn't matter if you're gonna build Seraphine on support or you've got it in the carry position. She's still gonna build like a support, just she's gonna get those items a little bit quicker.
Yeah.
So
I-
you're essentially like just throwing a double support down bot lane. Like, that's why it's good to put like a bruiser in there with her.
Yeah, so that's the curious thing I'm looking at in their team comp. Like Aurelia was up for Ashrelia. Like I feel
They
like
can't.
Aurelia's
I don't think they can pick that though.
no.
What do you
No,
mean?
because
Every day of the
they-
week they can pick that.
Yeah.
Well, they don't really have. I guess they maybe can.
I mean, you got the Volibear, you got the Owlstar.
From
got
memory,
the volley-
top
you
had
got the
counter
volley-
pick, right? So I think you can just pick like for something for the lane because Lee Sin's also useless out of the lane, right? So if you don't let him
Yeah.
snowball a lead, then you're good.
Like,
Yeah, I didn't watch
The-
draft either, so yeah, you're right. I thought they would have picked Silent earlier as like a blind pick, but
Given how the Lee Sin Silent Lane went from watching it,
Yeah.
Aurelia would have dumped at that lane.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah,
They
we've
were
all played
fighting
against
it.
Vigi. We know how he plays. He
Oh yeah.
can be abused.
the
Yeah,
the
the man
thing
just
with
fights constantly.
the thing with Lee Sin top is it's cheese. Like you're playing for the 1 to 6 game pretty much.
Yeah.
Where Irelia, if you can get your 5 stack, there is not one person at level 1 that can duel you.
Nope.
True.
Especially with corrupting. And if Lee Sin goes to go in, like hits a Q and he takes it, you can hit W. Like that's a 50% physical damage reduction. Man, instead of doing 1,000 damage to you, does 500 and then you turn.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
But like,
there's-
so when did they? What does anyone know like what the pick order then was? Because I thought they just picked Silent as like a blind pick early game, like early in the draft.
It was Volley Alistair. Oh, well, I don't remember what fucking TNS's first pick was. I think it might have been Kai'Sa, and then Weekend went Volley Alistair. Then I
Okay.
imagine, yeah, I don't fucking remember. But yeah, imagine being a Lee Sin top, right? You're against like a 0 AD threat comp, and you're like, oh, I should build Bramble here. But like, why? Why does this man have a Bramble vest?
You just go Executioner.
yeah, you pick up Xe into a chainsaw.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
At least that way you can utilize your passive and your abilities a bit more effectively. You have kick up more often. So anytime they try to engage, you just say, go away. We
That's
engage
like-
on our terms.
It's like an autopilot buy, I think. But,
Yep.
Yeah.
Don't know what that is.
Alright, well, we have to give TNS an MVP. For me personally, I'd say Arcanic for the third time.
Yes.
But what do you
Yeah.
guys reckon?
I don't know if I can give TNS an MVP. Like, there's been a bit of controversy around him lately, so I'm gonna step back on that one.
Yeah, well, that's why they weren't in the finals for the previous week, but we'll get into that later. Does anyone else have an MVP?
Yeah, I get mine to Ring Reese. He just always has a
Yeah,
pretty good Sejuani.
Yeah, I can agree with that too. Like the top lane was a strong vocal point for the Sejuani and the Lee Sin early on, and putting that Astra behind allowed the Lee Sin to just play that isolated 1v1 really well. So I'm gonna give it to Ring Race.
Alright, well, moving on to Iron to Gold for this week. We had this new up-and-coming team take first place. Weekend Warriors Alpha triumphed over Team Blackhawk. What do you guys think of this week's Iron to Gold?
It was interesting to watch. Let's just put it that way.
Okay, well, what if we start with Creamie? You versed Blackhawk in this week's as well, didn't you?
Yes, we played against them first round.
Do you have any comments on their team other than what we commented on from last week's thing? Or...
No, more that just like you either, if you first pick, take the Seraphine away. If you don't play Seraphine, ban it, and then just focus ban the jungler. Like at that point, because Zalakis he's too fucking potent. man's just where he needs to be. So, like, I don't know, you can maybe drop the Zillion because of the ulti if you hate it, but, I mean, it's not hard to stop attacking someone for 2 seconds.
Fair enough. Alright, well, on this team, I'll finish saying what I wanted to say about the jungle. I definitely agree that Seraphine is a good ban against these guys if you don't plan on picking it. The champion's just broken. Zalakis's champion pool is just like full early game junglers, and if they don't snowball a lead with that, I think they just lose. Like Xin Zhao, Warwick, what was his other fucking pick? Lease, right? Yeah, they're just like
yeah.
they're not good meta champs. They like you actually have to cheese lead early and keep the lead, otherwise your champ's just going to be fucking useless. And I don't know if that's the build that you go on Lee Sin either. The build that he's been doing with Eclipse, Mortal into Bork. I don't know what the best build on him because the champion is so useless, but yeah, I don't know. That seems a bit weird. Just like in that order.
It depends where you play Lee Sin.
Wait, are
So-
we talking about Xin Zhao or Lee Sin?
Xin
Xin
Zhao.
Zhao. Did I say Lee Sin, sorry?
Yes.
Said Lee
Yeah,
Sin,
yeah, you said-
Yeah, Xin Zhao, Elise, and Warwick are his champs.
I mean, I haven't done any stuff with Lee Sin since he got his like little update, so I'm not 100% on it. But I don't think Eclipse would be the best into
You
like.
could just go Stride Breaker or something.
Yeah, you could go Stride Breaker, like you could get Gale Force, but like I think the best option is actually Shield Bow.
Yeah, I was just about to say
Yeah,
that.
I agree. I
Like,
like the
shield-
build that
I
I've seen
think-
work is like pretty
Shield
much
bow
like
S
shield bow into
reaver?
crit.
Yeah.
Like just that combo there, like you hit a W on someone, it's half their HP, and then you've got the dash with the like you take Hob or whatever, and you got the three pump jump.
Yeah.
He's knocked you up. You're asking for child support, and he's just slapping you away, saying no. Next thing you know,
Absolutely. I know exactly how it feels, man. Guy level 3 gang 3 and I didn't flash because I was just like, you know, there's no way this guy kills me because like
Yeah,
the
he-
mid laner wasn't even fucking close. And then yeah, dude, the guy just soloed me at level 3. I was like, Jesus, all right.
I remember watching that. He like full on committed to that without any hesitation whatsoever. He's just like, I'm just gonna kill Syndra and it's going to
Like a
happen.
pixel out of my tower and he just fucked me.
I mean, I guess the idea is just like early carry threat jungler with like enabling mid laner with Zillion or Orianna or something.
Yeah,
But-
yeah.
I don't know. The other Xin Zhao build that I've been seeing is the Frozen Fist item, whatever that one's called, like the tank one.
Yeah, right.
I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
like
No, I
there's no
completely
reason you
agree
can't
with
go
build
tank
control.
Xin with this comp either, because like you got
Yeah.
AP Gragas top lane, so you already got like a triple
should-
threat comp.
That should have been a tank.
Yeah, you just go to
100%
tank
it
Xin
should have
Zhao, and then Zillion can enable the Samira instead of you in team fights.
Or just go take Gragas.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah,
better
true.
than
from
AP at the
what
moment
I've
anyway.
seen from Graggy though, he doesn't play tank Gragas.
Oh, you probably
Oh, I
should.
mean, if he was Tank Gragas, he wouldn't have soloed me top lane. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
I
Yeah, it
saw
was
that
AP
in the
Gragas,
replay.
and
That
he
was
just-
fucking sick. That was a sick solo kill,
Yeah,
honestly.
Yeah,
God,
no,
how
don't get me wrong. He played that
played.
super well. Like I was like just going up to little poke him a little bit, and then he just an ult out of nowhere, and I was like, oh fuck, I guess I'm dead. And
Can
then
we
he
talk
like
about
flashed
G
my
Bear's
W.
TP?
No, the one we
I
won top
TP.
lane.
Yeah, the
What?
one that I
TP
told you
with
to
the
do.
Zillion.
Okay, I mean, okay, so like that was a little fucked, because I was split between like 3 different fucking decisions.
Yeah.
One was like just one
Just
shot
die?
him. No. One was just one shot him on the TP. The second one was TP out like from the start, and the third was just like channel a recall. And so like I was like, I'll just channel the recall. And then as soon as his TP came in, I was like, well, there's no way I can cancel it and then re-channel a TP, right? So I was like, maybe I just one shot him, but I was like, no, that's too fucking risky. So I was just hoped to God that I could get off with the recall. But with 2 seconds to go, he like hits me with his bomb. but he had no stun, right? That's
That is what
So-
that is what I communicated. Yes, and I'm
yeah,
like,
Jeff was
he
like,
has
"There's
no stun,
TP,"
just
and I was like,
TP.
yeah, he's right. There is no stun. I can TP. And the man had Everfrost, so yeah, that was a rough time.
I was pretty shocked when that happened with the Everfrost. I was like, oh, he can get out here because he just uses double bomb. Nope. Everfrost. Rooted. You die. It's like, wow. Okay.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, after he rooted me with Everfrost and all that other bullshit, I like pressed R on him in a Q, and he lived with like 300 HP.
Yeah, he honestly could have just
So
killed
like,
him.
if I wasn't
should've
just
just
like
one-shot him.
fucking around with TPs and recalling and shit, I probably could have just one-shot him. So I'm like, fuck, maybe I'll just do that next time.
Yeah, killed him first and then TP out. 5 hit.
Yeah, honestly, true.
Well,
Why not
Oh,
kill
well.
him, recall, and then TP back in and kill him again? I mean,
True.
that's the big
Yeah,
brain play.
yeah,
Anyway,
yeah. My
True.
TP wasn't very useful that game. I don't feel like.
well, aside from the full damage Zin and the full damage Gragas, I think like their comp was alright and they played alright.
Yeah.
Yeah, that comp was super irritating to play into. Because I had to watch out for the Tinzel, the Set, and the Grog is trying to one-shot me.
The only fault I would have with the comp is that like the Samira wasn't as potent as I would have expected.
Yeah,
The
Well-
Samira did nothing that whole game.
that's like the rule of thumb of Samira. If you're gonna play a Samira, you ban Leona, or you pick it. And they picked it, and then they picked the Set, and we picked a Leona, I think. And yeah,
Mm.
it's just so weird. The drafting could have been a little bit better,
I mean,
but
maybe
yeah.
Kaiser instead of Samira then.
Well, they
Yeah.
first picked the Jinx, so I don't know why they picked Samira at all. Because like they
Oh.
can't hit on you.
I mean, I guess it's just like a kill. Like they want to play some sort of kill lane into the Jinx, I'd imagine.
Yeah, something like that.
I feel like they're putting too much comfort on the Set in that situation.
Well, they play a lot of Set, yeah. Like, his Set win rate's pretty good. He played Set pretty okay, but we did pretty well the communication to kill Set first in pretty much every team fight. That way he can't get a shield off and he can't do his, like, ultimate grab onto someone and, distract the backline. We pretty much just insta-killed him every team fight that we could.
Well, do you guys have any comments on how we played or our champs or anything, or we just go into MVPs?
Look, I'm loving Shiny's pick. Makes me proud. Jep, pick a better horse.
Yeah, alright, alright.
And G-Bear, you can play with my balls anytime.
Alrighty. So my MVP is based entirely on gameplay rather than the stats. Especially considering how rusty they were.
Yeah,
Uh,
okay, I was gonna say the same thing, but go.
I think Matty did alright.
Yeah.
A few of the Leona ults were very proactive and like there wasn't really, at least from my memory, any real call. They would just throw them out and then we got picks from it. So I think having, I guess, the confidence to make proactive plays like that is pretty good from an engaged support. Again, enabled us to get a lot of pretty free fights.
Sometimes you can't call the ults. You just like, as you press, you're like, I'm
You
ulting.
just see it and go, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Sometimes the pick is just too good.
Shiny's a monkey, so having the lane with that, like, that's an MVP right there.
I mean, look, I was gonna give it to Shiny anyway. Like,
Give it to Shiny.
look,
What do you
I'll
think?
look at it
Pixie?
this way.
Shiny bad, Shiny gay.
Unless his support is aggressive, man will play like an absolute bitch in lane.
Yeah,
Exactly.
dude.
Right? He will be like,
Absolutely.
be under my second tier tower. Like, I don't feel safe here.
He plays so safe, the enemy support ends up fucking getting bored and coming mid lane.
Just warden your river.
Just
What
just
happens?
play like Shiny does in mid lane, and you'll be fine.
Don't kill your opponent.
boring.
It's like
Like,
Nasa's mid then.
I'm honestly not
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
surprised, like, with the way that you play Shiny, that most, like, a lot of other teams don't take advantage of just 4-man diving you onto turret.
I wouldn't dare do that. That's a cardinal sin to come bot lane. The only person who's allowed to come bot lane is my team and Jepman only.
Your team and me. What? I'm part of your team.
Finally, if they dove him like that, he might actually finally experience a bottom lane TP. I might actually finally go there.
Don't
I
worry,
actually
he
just
experiences
couldn't admit
TPs when I play, but I don't call them. I was like,
Yeah, I
hey,
was like,
Shiny,
wait,
I'm here. Hello.
Is this my top
Yeah,
lane?
dude, you don't TP down there, man. You just let him do his thing.
Like, whoa, Pixie. This is a 1.5 meter distance in the bot lane. Go back
Yeah.
top.
He doesn't ever fight. Just let him.
I know.
farm.
I was aware.
I can tell you though on one thing that is a giveaway that I'm not sure if it's at least for you guys. When Jep is anywhere near bot lane and Dragon is up, you guys will try to shove reset, and if that's any indication, you're like, alright, Jep's pathing bot. So you try the counter push, you get the reset as well, you get there. If they hard shove, 100% of the time Jep is bot. 100% of the time. Because he's looking for that prior to get that drag.
True.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, nah, that's
That's why I can't play Evelyn. Because I'll be bot, I'll be like looking for a gank, and Shiny will walk up, and the enemy team's like, "Oh, something's up here. This man's not under his tower."
Dude,
That's
come
pretty
on.
much it. Like, it's honestly, Shiny, like, you give away Jep so much because of how you play.
Yeah, because he doesn't
well.
fucking.
Like, you have two.
freezes.
You have two modes: either play under my tower or push up because Jep's here. Like
Really?
that's it.
Don't worry, Shiny, I love you.
I mean, like, it's up to like the enemy team to break that freeze and get me out from underneath my tower. Because I am more than happy to sit under my tower and just power farm for 15 minutes and just be like, well, you can't kill me. Either send 3 or 4 people to dive me.
Kill your
even
mid laner
then.
though, Shiny.
The issue with doing that on a freeze like in bot lane is it's not like top or mid where you can hold it for ages because you're into range v range.
Yeah.
So like you need to have that aggressive support there. Like you basically either need to 2v2 the lane and have you and the support standing in a position of threat, or a 2v1 lane where you and your support are standing in a position of threat because their support's got board and roamed mid.
Yeah, I know that feel.
So, and having a range v range, like 9 times out of 10, you can break a freeze pretty easily. They
Yeah.
just,
It often
like-
requires a support walking up with you though.
yeah. Or you just have the jungler hover down bot and you go, I'm looking to break a freeze. Jetman,
Yeah.
are you next to me?
So anyway, back to the MVP, right?
Oh, Shiny.
Alright, so we have, what, 1 vote Shiny, 1 vote Maddie?
Probably so.
Or 2 votes Maddie? What did you say?
Yeah, I was
Drew?
gonna vote for Maddie as well.
Okay. Shiny?
I give my vote to Jacob for the good drafts and the bans.
True.
Coach.
Oh, actually, can we give
Did-
Coach MVP?
Oh, yeah.
You have a coach?
It's part
We
of the
got
team.
2 coaches.
But yeah,
Like, no, but can we? Because Shadow makes a good point. I probably would give Jacob MVP if we could give Coach MVP.
Whoa.
The drafting was quite nice for us.
Oh, we can shout out Jacob. I don't know if we
Right,
can
well,
give him an MVP because we can't give
No,
any
no,
other
no,
team's coach an MVP, can we?
All right, yeah,
He-
not true. All right,
He
you know,
said
imagine he was
first
winning.
pick Jinx, Blissa. I did it. We won.
I don't think he
That
said
is not what he said. Chris said, I don't own this champion, and then we had Jinx.
Is that what happened? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. No, he didn't tell us the first pick Jinx. First picking Jinx was fucking int. They
I
could've
don't think
punished
it's
us
that
so
int,
hard with that.
honestly.
It's a strong AD carry. You just gotta not
Alright,
play like
well,
a muppet.
Alright, Pixie, MVP,
Wait, so what's
Matty.
Shiny's MVP then?
Maddie. Okay,
Jacob.
so Maddie gets MVP. Yeah, I'd probably say Maddie MVP, even though G-Bear and Shiny like topped the damage charts every
Actually,
game that we played.
if I can't
Good.
give my MVP to Jacob, I'll give my MVP to Chris because Chris, limit testing kept reminding us that we scale,
True.
don't do stupid shit early mid game, and we'll
Yeah,
win the
stop those
game
stupid
eventually.
shit. Fucking idiots. We don't need to fight them.
Hey, look,
They can't get on Jinx at all, ever.
Yeah,
look,
well,
the only reason I'm giving mine to fucking Shiny is because I'm looking at what he had to deal with.
What do you
I'm
mean,
like-
bro? They didn't touch him.
Yeah, I know, but that's because either A, he had a beefy as fuck frontline that they couldn't do anything to, or man was sitting back in Nexus while you guys were fighting.
I was sitting back at Nexus.
It was the front line.
yeah,
trust
but
me.
Maddie played really well for someone that
Yeah.
like doesn't actually practice
know
with our
when she
team
last
much
played.
anymore.
Look,
Yeah,
Like,
no,
at all
that's
anymore.
kind of what I meant. Like, considering like she hasn't really played the game, she took a bit of a break from it, right? Because she didn't like have a PC or some shit, and then she doesn't like play with us in general to start with. As I don't know, I thought she played pretty well. Like, just having the confidence and the decisiveness to just look for those proactive plays. I don't know. That's just like really something like I personally value. It's just like doing proactive shit rather than just like sitting back waiting to be told. You know.
Yeah. There were a few ults that allowed us to turn fights really easily.
oh yeah.
Made things a lot less hard for me to like land silent ults and Qs and shit. So
But yeah, shout out to Limit Testing, aka Top Gap Haha, for subbing in as well, and shout out to Jacob and Nova as well for all the help they've given. Anything else to
Yeah.
say about this week's Iron Gold, or are we moving on?
I liked the bracket. I thought the bracket was great.
Oh yeah, it was so good.
Yes.
I think-
well, I
I
asked
think-
for it to be remade because we had 2 buyers in a row, but
Yeah, I think in future that like if they want to go through the teams early, like before the bracket's out and start DQing and whatever, like they should just take them off the bracket, right?
the teams said that they weren't going to be able to play, but
Yeah, and
no,
they seeded them anyway. Like just don't.
I don't know, maybe they just, like, it was in general chat, I believe, so maybe they just
Yeah,
didn't
maybe
read
they
it
didn't check.
because
Yeah,
there wasn't
maybe.
a ticket made or something.
Yeah, but then I
Yeah.
think yeah.
Well,
you just
also,
go for it.
Newcaster, really good, honestly. I think, like, match them with, like, who are some good casters? Like Tico, Midnight, or Cooper, and oh my god, the cast will be fucking fire, dude.
Whoa,
Yeah, I agree.
you're forgetting about the caster in your
Yo, I haven't heard you fucking cast for ages, Creamie, what?
Alright, well, look at it this way, alright? So far on the roster, I'm solo casting 2 weeks from now on Thursday, so
On
I'm going to be
Thursday?
doing color and play-by-play.
Where you're not playing?
Tuesday.
Oh, Shiny, get in! You guys can...
Alright.
Shiny, Creamy cast, yes?
Dude, it'd be great, like, but at the moment, looking at it, alright, I'm going to be doing play-by-play and color, like,
Yeah, just get Shiny to do the color.
But aren't we
no,
playing
it's fine,
Tuesdays?
I'll be talking to
We're
myself.
playing
it'll be
this
great.
Tuesday. I don't know about 2 weeks from now. If Shiny
The,
wants the cast,
oh,
that
yeah.
can be his excuse to leave, otherwise no excuses.
Don't get paid for it.
No.
No.
I'm
Well,
gonna be
you
busy
get
on that day.
You get paid for it in off-brand stuff I send you.
Oh yes.
But yeah, look, we'll shoot into that cast in between our games, Creamy. I look forward to that one. Alright,
Alright.
moving on. We had some drama with the TMG ladder where they were like, where they had basically DQ'd a team at that point, I believe, because. Well, the quote that they said was, because we had reports made after the event by multiple teams, is the reason that they DQ'd the said team, aka Mage Players United, I think is their name, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so you guys know what happened there. Do you want to go into any of it?
Sorry, can I just get be refreshed on it?
Oh,
Oh,
you're not
Chris.
aware?
Mage Players United is like Envy, Griff, Cavi, Hirogi, and the IQ Gap 80 carry that they play with.
CSO or?
No, What's his name?
No, the platinum
Creamie.
guy.
Sakusa? Kiyumi Sakusa?
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's him?
Yeah, that guy.
the weeby name. Yeah, so they were
Weeb, yeah.
DQ'd basically. And from what we can tell, it's just because the other team think that players on Major Players United play at a level above platinum. And that's
Yeah.
why the admins had DQ'd them at that point.
So they had no actual evidence.
Yeah.
Just
No.
just he said, she said.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it happened like pretty soon after their game against like a
Yeah.
team that's like sort of friends with some of the admins on the org, so I don't know, it looked very weird and
It's a very biased thing then.
I mean,
Like,
yeah,
that's kind of what
most of the
we
community
thought
wasn't happy about it.
as
Like,
well.
well, we hopped into their channels as well. I think a bunch of people got like muted and banned. But look, I agree that some of the shit shouldn't have been said, and I don't condone harassing the admin team about any of it. But I think the DQ is completely unjust, and it has since been overturned. But did you guys have anything to say on the matter?
Yeah.
No.
So if you're gonna make a ruling like that, you need to make sure it fucking sticks, right? Like if you have
Yeah.
no evidence, you have nothing to prove that they did what you think they did, other than the fact that you guys just have some opinion of their skill level or whatever. And the team that they played against complained because they got smashed, even though they had like 3 off rolls. Like you need to make that stick. Either like you just ignore the complaint and just let things keep going, but I don't know, maybe look into them, try and find some evidence or something. But you absolutely can't just straight up get rid of this team without having any sort of proof. Like there's no way that could work. I don't understand what their thought process was there, but that makes no fucking sense.
Oh, well, yeah, okay, I see where you're coming from, right? And you're saying that the admins basically think that, like, they're Smurfs and that they have higher accounts, right?
That's
But
yeah,
from
that's
my
exactly
perspective, what the admins think is they're just going based off this, hey, this person could be at this rank, right? They're not saying that they do have a higher account, they're just saying that they play like someone of the better rank. And, like, they're just making up a new rule to DQ them, basically.
Okay, yeah. Well, I feel like that's kind of the same thing, but yeah, I understand what you're saying as well, and I also agree. Like, it's there's literally nothing there. But
First issue
yeah,
is that like the administrators that are determining these decisions don't have accounts in multiple different elos, both high and low. So you have an accurate gauge to determine whether or not someone is either playing higher or lower their specific division, right? Secondly, they don't have any rules that enforce them to like play like hundreds of games in their rank to like determine where they like truly lie, right? Like they have a minimum amount and all the players reach that, so all the eligibility requirements are met. So from that point onward, there shouldn't really be any issue. And if they are under the assumption that they have high ranked accounts, and if there's like no shred of proof, then they shouldn't be making an administrative decision in the first place. So like on 3 different levels, there's like so much fault with that decision.
yeah, I just think that and the way they handled like all the stuff afterwards just made no sense either. It was like people were asking why, and then they were getting muted and fucking banned. All their questions and statements were getting deleted. Admins weren't responding to DMs. Like the fucking owner changed her name to "Do not DM me, please." Like, what do you mean, dude? What the fuck? Like, what are you guys doing?
I mean, I
when
think
you
the
do something
do
like
not
that?
DM me please thing is like fine, right? I personally would rather take it to like discuss it in a public channel, right? But then like you got these admins saying take it to DMs and shit.
That's
It's
exactly
actually
it.
so annoying when admins do
That's
that, right?
right.
Like, why are you trying to hide shit? Just like talk out in the open where everyone can see and just like don't be sus about it.
If
Yeah, I
it's
mean, I don't mind being asked to DM someone if they'll actually fucking do something about it, but like, people were just getting muted and their stuff was being deleted. Like, why would you bother DMing them now?
Well, it can't be good for the admins either if like 20 different people DM them about the same thing and they have to give them like the same response to like 20 different people, where they could just do it once in a public channel, right?
Well, that's exactly it.
well, at the same time, right? If it's something that like the way that they were caught for, hypothetically, the way they were caught for smurfing or breaking the rules or whatever, and they were caught for it, that should be kept under lock and key.
You're saying
But
like
The way that they
the
know
way that they
they're-
investigate?
the way that they investigate it, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
agree.
agree.
But the result, like, what does it matter if people go, oh, this person was DQ'd? These are the reasons. Here's our proof. Like, if you have an entire server asking why, just put it in there. Like,
Just
we
show people what you've got. Just say we got rid of them
Yeah.
because we have this, and then everyone can read it and they go, "Oh, okay, that makes sense."
yeah,
I
like,
agree.
why
Like, what?
why not? Like,
Yeah, exactly.
when you've got 30, 40 people asking why not show them why, calm them down,
Exactly.
and that way everyone goes, okay, we can see you did the right thing. But after someone lost and then reported it to admins because they had 3 off rolls,
Yeah.
it doesn't sit right with the community or the players.
Yeah, and it just looks biased as well because
Yeah.
it's very clear that a few people from there that like run that event are friends and are involved with the team in question. So it's pretty likely that the decision was made purely because those people went and messaged them directly and said this is unfair, DQ them please, and they did it.
The problem is it hurts the credibility of the admins that weren't involved.
Yeah.
Like the admins that are trying to do the right thing, it hurts their credibility as well because as a team, they fucked up.
Yeah, like if you start doing shady stuff, like even if you're like that one admin that's trying to do the right thing, like you're putting in all that effort. If you're on a team of 5 people and you're 1 out of 5 that's putting in the effort, and the rest of them are just saying, bugger it, like this is good enough for me, and then you're DQing, you essentially harm, even if it's one person, like the other 4 people get affected by it.
Yeah.
Because people start to lose trust in the admins.
Well, yeah, exactly. And I feel like it's kind of at that point now where everyone's just kind of like, I don't think these people know what they're doing.
Yeah, so when people lose trust in the, I would say security side of the whole thing, right? So making sure that the event is kept within the rules. And then they're bending the rules or changing the rules, or just they ignore like the one, like a set in stone rule that's like pretty self-explanatory just because they're friends with someone.
Mm.
It hurts the credibility of every other admin, and no one will then go, well, why, like, is that how I get ahead in the tournaments? Like, do I just get real chummy with the admins and then say, hey, I lost to them, DQ them?
Yeah.
Like, it sets a bad example and precedent. Like, it's okay to be friends with the admins, like, don't get me wrong, like, some of them are pretty chill. But at the same point, the admins need to know when to distance themselves as friends doing admin duties. And the players need to understand as well that, yeah, you may have lost, but before you go and instantly go to an admin, take a minute or two and like think about the game. Think about how you played and how they played. Go over the replay real quick. Like, it takes 3 to 4 minutes to do that. And you can, like, get, like, yeah, I played like shit. They played better. I can understand why. Like, they weren't smurfing. Or you can watch it and be like, this man's at, 9.9 CS a minute. Seems pretty sus. Like, you can sort of see that, like, especially in the way that a player moves.
Yeah,
So,
micro's a huge giveaway.
yeah.
Like, if you ever watched Envy stream, micro is a huge giveaway.
Or lack thereof.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I completely agree. Admins need to find a way to be objective about it and find a way to sort of, be professional about it and have an unbiased opinion regarding certain issues. Or, if a particular organization doesn't, believe it's, even worth that risk and they have the manpower to have alternate opinions and third-party input, then just excuse that person or recuse them from it or whatever it's called, and let the rest of the team make the decision.
Yeah, it's also not hard to say
I
to a
don't think
team,
yeah,
right? That, like, sure, let them finish that weekend, right? But then you literally just say to the team or that person, you are suspended from the tournament for 2 weeks while we look into you. Because we've had multiple complaints and we are looking into information about you.
yeah.
It, like, people will understand, like, especially the community. If you're saying you're not banned, you're just suspended from playing the next tournament, right? While we're checking up on you. Like, people will understand that. People would respect you more. You coming up to them and saying, "Hey, sorry, we're just suspending you for the next tournament, because we've had multiple allegations against you. We're checking this out. Like, we're taking it serious." People will have more respect for the admins because even if they do jack shit, right? Just those words there, it gets the community going. They're trying to do their job.
They're trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I completely agree with that. And I mean, like absolute worst case scenario, the admins are wrong, and
yeah.
they get it wrong. You can always undo a decision, right? Like, nothing's fucking
Yeah.
permanent.
I think, well,
You can always just be like, look, our bad. You're free to participate. Investigation concluded nothing. Our bad.
I
Feel free to
agree,
play.
but I
And
think
and then there's no issue.
yeah, but you can't make a decision with the intention of then being able to undo it. Like, I think that's kind of what happened here. It was like, oh, we'll just
Well,
DQ
no,
them,
okay,
and if people get pissed, we'll just fucking
I
undo it.
agree. Well, to be fair, I don't think a DQ or any sort of administrative decision should be made purely based on word of mouth alone. Like, if
Yes.
there is a bunch of teams complaining about a certain
Agree.
team, then that is definitely enough reason to look into it,
Yeah.
but not
Yeah.
enough to prohibit them playing necessarily,
Exactly.
unless there
Yes.
was some sort of tangible information that sort of says, hey, there might be something more to this, right?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah. That's why I was also offering up the suspension thing as well, because it doesn't sound as harsh as a DQ.
Yeah.
Like, and it's like you can
Just
undo a
temporarily
suspension.
barred from participation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you don't
Like,
find anything, well, all
I
right.
mean,
you can play them.
what's
if
one
not,
fucking
well,
week,
yeah.
right? Like,
I think it's
I
just an
mean,
issue. Like, they just
these
don't have
events run almost
people
every
to
week.
say.
They run 30, 40-ish times a year. Like, what's missing out on one, really?
I mean, but does it take 2 weeks to investigate someone though?
No.
Absolutely not. No, it
Yeah,
takes
so I feel
a
like
couple days.
you could just say nothing, right? Like there's a bunch of people complaining about this one team. You don't say anything to this team for the moment. You spend the week before the next event investigating them, and then if you find something, you approach the team and be like, "Hey, we found this. Your player's ineligible for this reason. You're DQ'd."
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Alright, well, anyone got anything else to say about this before we move on to the TNS stuff? No? Alright.
I was just about to say that second approach you mentioned in regards to looking into teams that have made complaints about them, sort of like keeping it on the down low, looking into them, and then like approaching them when something tangible actually comes up. That's what I've done for like multiple other orgs, and it's like with a 99% rate, almost always resulted in like a good end result, but either positive or negative.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
So like, yeah, more people adopted that, I think would be good.
Alright, well, moving on. So, last week, TNS were DQ'd from Plat for having a Smurf on their roster. The IGN was Ed Sheeran. I don't remember the main off the top of my head, but it was also
I can tell you,
on the
bro.
roster. Yeah,
I
sure.
can definitely tell you. Yos, YOS.
Yeah,
Man's diamond.
yeah. So the Yoss account was
name.
diamond, and then the Ed Sheeran account was like gold or silver, right? Or was it plat?
Gold. No,
Yeah,
it was gold,
okay.
I think.
Yeah. So the Ed Sheeran account, um, this dude was like on stream playing on the Ed Sheeran account with players from TNS, right? So they know that this guy is a Smurf. And what is your guys' opinion on if someone knows that one of their teammates is a Smurf and that person gets banned, should the teammates also be punished?
Yes.
If you knowingly have that person on there, you should receive the same punishment
I agree. Yep.
because you are knowingly bringing the sport in a disrepute.
Yep. Hard agree.
Okay, well, personally, I completely agree with what Creamie had to say. I think it's pretty poor form when a team plays for example, either an open rank event or a higher ranked closed event with a certain roster, and then uses that player again on an alternate account in a lower ranked event. Because both teams in both events, 4 out of 5 players are on comms with the guy that's playing on the alternate account. And so 4 out of those 5 people know that he's playing on the gold account in the platinum restricted event and then playing on the diamond account in the diamond restricted event. So it's really disappointing to see that those players would do that, given that the competition they're playing against is legitimately platinum. And most of those players are far above the skill level of their opponents in the first place. So taking an unnecessary advantage like that and essentially cheating is, yeah, honestly just kind of fucking gross. And it
In
makes it
essence, it's
really
doping.
hard to trust the other plat teams as well that actually try their best to do well.
Yeah, I think that, and they've been caught before as well. Like it's not like this is the first time. So like personally, I think like you just kick him out at that point, right? Like they all like dropped to play. They're still using Smurfs. Like, why do
Yeah,
you keep
so
letting them play?
yeah, so you DQ the Smurf even though the team doesn't know about it. What's to stop them from just getting another Smurf in? And this time like fixing up like their mistake of fucking being on stream or whatever and like actually hiding this Smurf so then they can't be DQ'd and now they're just like Smurfs in the Iron Plat events.
Well, I wouldn't believe if anyone told me that they didn't know, because they 100% did know.
Oh yeah, there's proof that they know, right? Because it's on stream.
Exactly. So then they should just be banned. Like, why are they still playing? Like they played on Tuesday. Like, why?
Going into that, do you, like what sort of ban length would you like think is appropriate
All right.
for that
Well, if you're
sort
gonna
of
ask
thing?
me, I'm gonna say permanent.
Oh no, so first time, I could understand if one or two players didn't know, right? I could understand. But the people that do know, permit.
Yeah, exactly. And there's ways to check if they know as well.
And if if you for some reason one of the people that like they faked not knowing and you didn't catch it, and they come in and they've got another you just the whole team like that's it,
Yeah.
just done. Like
I mean,
Yeah,
you know, like
I watched the VOD that was streamed of the player on that account, and he was duo with one of the other players that participate in these events on their roster. And that other player vocally said to him, "Yeah, just run it down for like 10 games so that you can get eligible and have the 40." When he was playing on the Ed Sheeran account, that was the Smurf.
Yeah, so I saw the same VOD which has since been deleted. The
Yeah.
Twitch account was linked to the guy's Discord, so it wasn't hard to find.
Yeah.
Yeah, they said a lot of like incriminating shit that proves that like this one dude at least knew, right? Like they
Yeah,
refer back to their
exactly.
main account, and like this dude has also played with the main account. So like you can't say like, oh, he didn't know that the two people were the same person, because like you've been on voice with both of them. You know that the voice is the same person, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
they played,
exactly.
and I think like their whole roster played with him in like Iron to Plat before he was ineligible. So like they all know what he sounds like as well.
Yeah.
So
They
there's
played
like
with
there's
him in the lit team Iron to Diamond when he was
exactly.
on his
So
main account.
and then they play with him in like Iron to Plat and he's on a different account, but it's like doesn't have it's like he's using a voice changer or something. You know, he still sounds the same.
yeah, the way it's so whether or not you use a voice changer,
Well, I mean,
right, it's
I was just saying that
it
because
no
like
no, but I'm just saying like whether or not a voice changer is used, right? If people have heard your voice, right, doesn't matter if it's the way that you talk.
Yeah, there's mannerisms in your speech.
yeah, but
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah, I was the only reason I was saying like voice change just because like it's impossible to like for them to not know if they've heard your voice before because like
And if you
unless
use a
you're like
voice
Mark,
changer, it's so fucking obvious it's a voice changer too, right? Like unless
yeah,
you're spending
exactly.
like $80 on software, it's so obvious.
Yeah, you get like that like, grainy sound and yeah, sounds retarded. But yeah, so like they know they all 100% know. So why are they still allowed to play?
Yeah, not only do like they know that like this one person was a Smurf, right? A lot of the people that do this sort of thing, like Stormwolves, Ocelots, TNS now, like they will try again, right?
Yeah.
And they will like try to clean up their mistakes so they don't get caught.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's it,
I
like
wouldn't surprise me if they basically learned from this and just did it again, but were more careful.
Yeah, like I'm just thinking back to like Rift Republic, and I'm pretty sure we had to DQ Ring Reese like a bunch of times. So
That is
he
correct.
might be eligible for this kind of shit, but like it just kind of proves that these people have just been involved with that kind of behavior for just that fucking long.
well, it's
Like
just like
Netrix was DQ'd from Odds for Golds for playing on Smurf as well. Like, and he's the guy running the team now. So I don't understand how they should be able to play at all.
it shouldn't. Like if any team is associated with that sort of person, like it's just no instant DQ.
Yeah, because it's like a trust system, right? Like, there's no way you can be 100% sure. So you just kind of go off their word, and then if you find shit that suggests that it's otherwise, well, then you got
I
to take
mean,
action.
allowing them to play into the underplat, I think, was fine to begin with.
To
But
begin with,
now
yeah.
that this has happened, I wouldn't anymore. Open events, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, there would be on like some form of probationary period because like
It's got to be
just the
consequences.
just the pure fact of breaching tournament rules twice now should come with some sort of repercussion.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
But
100%.
I think open events should be fine. Just
Yeah,
rank
open.
restricted ones should perma for all of them.
Yeah,
Yep.
open I think is fine. Like, because it doesn't matter what rank you are. You can play on whatever account you want. Like, who cares? But
Essentially, yeah.
for these kinds of ones, like, it's pretty important that you're not fucking around. Otherwise, it just makes it shit for everyone.
I mean, I can appreciate that the I've spoken to a lot of them, and like they seem like decent people, and I
Yeah,
can
that's
appreciate
yeah.
that they like the competition and want to participate, but they're just not doing it the right way.
Yeah, well, to wrap things up, I think we're all pretty much on the same page. Due to the late start, some of us have to go in like 5 minutes, but with Shiny and Creamie in this podcast, before we do go, do you guys have like one or two anime from like this season that's just finished, or like next season that you would recommend to people, and then we can like go more in depth into it another time? Because yeah, some people have to go.
Ooh, okay.
Dr. Stone, like every day of the week.
Doctor Stone season 2 from last season.
Yeah,
I mean, Doctor Stone season 1 and season 2,
yeah, that's just
both very good.
yeah, it's just great. And then oh, what is it? There's another one that I'm thinking of. I was Please Don't Tease Me, Nagatoro.
Yes, that one. That's hype. I was excited for that one when I read the manga for it.
Dude,
And
same.
When the anime adaptation came out, I was like, it's gonna be rough.
Is that one
Wait,
of the ones that just
what's
finished
it
airing?
about?
Yeah, I don't know that one. Sorry.
School bullying. It's great.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
Okay.
What was its name again? Please don't
So one
tease
of them
me.
dear
Yeah,
ones.
Please Don't Tease Me, Nagatoro. And then there was, I forget the name of it, but I know the main character's name is Rudy.
Jobless Reincarnation.
Yeah, Jobless Reincarnation. That's another one.
That was
Oh.
a big. That one was so good.
Yeah, that's fucking hella good. Anyone that like
Dude, it's
watches
getting,
anime at all should watch that.
It's becoming like a shoujin. Like it's gonna have like multiple seasons.
As it should. It was an absolute gem of a show. I was like skeptical at first. I'm like, alright, another isekai. And then when I watched it, I was like, holy shit. This is actually so well done compared to like other isekais that you watch.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's so good.
I think I think it's one of the first or something, because people on like Reddit were calling it the grandfather of isekai.
Yeah,
But
it's
yeah,
been
it
like a light novel, hasn't it?
Yeah, but yeah, it was really well done. It was fucking hilarious. There are like bits of ecchi, but like yeah, just fucking cool story. That's super funny. So the Don't Bully Me Nagatoro one is like airing soon, yeah?
Yeah,
If
the
it's not,
11th.
I'm looking at it, airs tomorrow.
So first one comes out at 2:30 a.m.
Yeah, 2:30 a.m. tomorrow.
Yeah, so in like 3 hours comes out.
Keep in mind, it is an acquired taste. Like most shows when you watch, right, you may not like it or you might like it. It all comes down to personal preference. That's just how it is.
Oh, sorry. It comes out Sunday, so like Monday 2:30 a.m.
Alright.
around that time.
Does anyone else have any anime from last season or like upcoming anime that they want to recommend?
I think the upcoming anime, one of the other big ones too for this season, like coming out this season, is How to Not Summon a Demon Lord
Season 2? Fuck yeah. The limit
Oh,
testing
yeah.
loves that one, honestly. I linked it to
Oh,
him and he's like,
man.
don't ever send me an anime again.
Yeah, you're actually
Wait,
fucking
but
weirdo.
he got the demon out of her.
Yeah, he didn't like the scene where like
Sure
he was
did.
like fingering her. I think it was.
I mean, the whole show was like, I mean, the overall story was okay, but like, I just didn't like how pointless some of like the fucking fan service was. It's just like, why? Why do you have to do that? Like, just be a fucking normal character.
Have you got a problem with him having social anxiety and then fingering a cat girl?
Yeah,
Honestly, it's
Yes.
kind of
Oh,
like
actually, wait, no,
I do.
I just remembered. It's house husband.
What?
Oh yeah, I saw that one. Yeah.
The like the mafia dude that becomes a house husband.
That's on
dude.
Netflix, isn't it?
No, maybe. Not sure. But all I know is the manga. I read that shit. Dude, so funny. So fucking funny. It is like, if you want to get ahead of it, like, genuinely worth reading like the 20 or so chapters that it's got. Because you'll sit there and you'll be like, why is this man fighting another person in a store by putting like a tomato sauce jar back and then like quoting it? Like, it's fantastic. Like, I'm not doing it justice in the way that I'm describing it, but
Nah, actually sounds alright. Like, I don't normally read anime, but manga, whatever, sounds alright.
Yeah, I haven't watched anime for a while. I'm pretty behind. I watched Dorohedoro a few months ago. That was fucking sick.
It's so good.
Highly recommend that to anyone who hasn't seen it.
The manga for that is just awesome.
Yeah, I haven't watched the manga. And then I recently caught up with Attack on Titan as well, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a classic. It's a classic Attack.
Yeah,
on
I
Titan.
mean, I just haven't really watched. I'm just watching like normal shows.
Have any of you fucking guys watched Drifting Dragons yet?
No, I haven't.
And fuck all of you.
I watched
Wait,
the Blood
actually,
of Zeus one
the
that you
Netflix
told me to.
Castlevania thing was actually pretty fucking good.
It's on Netflix, just watch it.
What's it called?
Drifting Dragons.
Is it about cars?
No.
Oh.
It's about boats.
Why?
I don't want to watch it then. I don't know.
Well,
And yeah, another one would be Vinland Saga, if anyone's seen it. That
Yeah.
one's actually fucking
Like-
so fucking good.
the Viking.
just
one.
so you guys have an image that you can like quote when you're looking at this. For like House Husband. Like, there's just so many good ones.
Well, from last season, I'd say ReZero. If you haven't watched that, check it out. If you're into something dark and a bit etchy, then Redo Healer was pretty unique, I think.
Oh yeah, it's very unique.
Yes,
This is degenerate, isn't it?
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
a bit
yeah.
of a degenerate one.
hey, look, I'm still looking for Hikari, alright?
And Quintessential
Yeah, I bet you
Quintuplet Season
are.
2 is a fucking banger.
Look, you can watch Redo of Healer on haname.tv.
Just watch it on an anime site. But yeah.
Christ.
And then from upcoming season, just the mainstream Boku no Hero. If you haven't seen any season of that, you don't know what you're fucking missing out on. Great show,
I'd agree, it's
honestly.
really good.
Alright, well, anyone got any last things to say before we wrap it up?
Taco, do your ranked games?
Yeah, Taco.
True.
Taco, don't do
Fucking
your rank
your
games.
rank
Don't do it.
Actually, no, yeah, Taco don't. I don't want to
Yeah.
fucking sub and play against you.
Alright, well,
Nah, I hopefully might be good.
might be, yes.
You'll have fun. You'll have fun. don't
Taco,
worry.
I definitely won't play them for you.
Oh,
Good,
Oh,
great,
oh.
okay.
Oh no! Well, that's a cut.
You
keep
can play
digging the
mine as
hole.
Hey,
well
look,
while you're there.
I said I wouldn't play him for him. Man's got to play it though.
Man's gotta play himself, yeah.
Alright, well, thanks for coming on the show, everyone. Thanks for
Thanks for
watching,
having
guys. If you liked it, give us a like, share it to your friends, and hit that subscribe button for more content. As always, thanks for watching. We really appreciate it. I hope you have a good one, and we'll catch you later.
Ring the
Smash
fucking
the
bell.
Motherfucking like button.